Well, sure, the Wiley X Captivate lens tech isn't new, but it's still newish, and I want to talk to you about the Polarized Rose Gold lens, so stick around. Hello and welcome, I'm Eyeglass Tyler. Today we're going to be looking at the Wiley X Captivate Rose Gold lenses. We already know it looks great, but we are going to talk about what makes this lens unique in the Captivate lineup and ultimately, hopefully, discover whether or not it's the right choice for your next pair of Wiley X sunglasses. If at the end of this you're ready to order, do not forget about SportRx and definitely don't forget about our See Better guarantee, because with that, you're never stuck with something that you don't like or just doesn't work for you. You have as long as 45 days with them. Even if you get them in prescription. To figure that out, you just reach out to us. We take care of you no matter what that means on our end. And also, we have opticians who would love to help you get it right the first time and just to hear your voice. So reach out to us. For now, let's talk about this lens. Before I get into the nitty-gritty about the rose gold lens, first I want to give you a little brief overview of what to expect out of the Captivate lens tech. First and foremost, you can't talk about Captivate without talking about that color enhancement. And that is the reason that we at SportRx really love this lens tech. And the way that they achieve that with the Captivate lens tech is by filtering out the confusing light in the color spectrum that is difficult for the human eye to suss out on its own naturally. And so by doing so, you get a much more true color experience and you get greater clarity. Now, that boosted contrast and that boosted color perception and heightened differences between colors has a lot of uses. If you're looking for that, maybe don't look at this one. Maybe look at it if it's not a huge necessity. We'll talk about it in a moment. But if that's something you're looking for, there are other lenses in the Captivate collection that are much more contrast enhancing. The other thing that you get with the Captivate lens tech is better depth perception. And they're able to achieve that by that separating and enhancing of colors in the color spectrum. It makes it easier to read your surroundings and understand what you're looking at, thanks to there being less confusion in your color perception. And of course, we're looking at sunglasses, so you know they're going to protect your eyes. And that means blocking 100% of the damaging UV rays, but also with the Captivate lens tech, you're going to get protection against the bad blue light. If you're unfamiliar with what that means or what that is, there's tons of information out there, a good amount of it from us as well. The more technical term for it is HEV, high energy visible radiation, and that is the shortwave blue light. So the very beginning of that blue light spectrum has been found to be more damaging. These lenses are going to protect you even against that while allowing the good blue light to still make it through the lens. Let's talk a little bit more about this specific lens color. Hey, if you're liking this content, but maybe you have additional questions about Captivate lenses, or perhaps you have prescription needs, well, be sure to reach out to one of our very friendly and knowledgeable SportRx opticians, because they're eagerly awaiting your call. And for even more Wiley X frame reviews, unboxings, prescription Captivate content, check out our videos on our blogs. We'll put a link in the description below. Now, with the Captivate Polarized Rose Gold lens color, you get a green base. This is one of two options in the Captivate collection that has a green base. So it's not gray, it's not copper. So you do get, it is closer to gray in terms of color perception than it is to the copper. So it isn't as contrast enhancing, but you do get a different color experience. It's not totally neutral, but I would say it's still more natural. It is a little less color boosting, but it is something. The rose gold mirror coating does allow you a little more contrast and a little more pop in details. This lens was designed for slightly cloudy to overcast days, but also bright conditions. This is on the lighter end of the spectrum in terms of VLT, which I'll get to in just a moment. But what you're getting with this is reduction in oranges and blues, and it's going to enhance greens and yellows. Of course, it's a polarized lens, so you're going to be minimizing glare. That is light bouncing off of other objects. This is a really good lens for bright conditions, but also changing light conditions. The VLT on this is 15%. If you're unfamiliar with what VLT means, it's visible light transmission. It means it's letting 15% of light through the lens. And at that 15% mark, it is not the darkest of the dark. It's still a pretty good dark lens. So if you are sensitive to light, but you love the rose gold finish, it still could be a great lens for you, but it will let a little bit more light through. Compare that with the darkest of the dark, which is 10%. It's not a huge difference, but it's enough to make a difference in cloudier conditions or more overcast conditions. This lens is going to be a little bit more usable. Now that we've talked about what to expect out of the rose gold lens, who do we recommend it for? Well, we recommend it for people who find themselves frequently in those overcast and variable light conditions. This is a really good lens for general outdoor use. It is excellent for any activities with contrasting landscapes, and I would recommend this a little more over the gray or something as neutral, because it's not quite as neutral, but for a person who is a little bit overwhelmed by those super contrast enhancing, really bright and vivid lens colors. We love this lens for hiking, just general outdoor use. It is very versatile. It works in a variety of light conditions. You will have some contrast in shaded areas and protection from the sun in really bright areas. You also get some highlights in the yellows and greens, so nature really pops. I love this lens color, I'll be honest with you. I have some other benefits for you to be aware of for the Captivate lens tech, and that is the coatings. The oleophobic and hydrophobic coatings that are inherent in this lens will help to prevent oil, dirt, water, dust from sticking to the lens, which means that they will stay cleaner, but also they'll be easier to clean. You're going to find that they smudge a little bit less. You're going to find that there are fewer of those pesky water spots. While we're talking about coatings, we have to talk about scratch resistance, right? That's always at the top of people's mind. And there is a test called the Bayer abrasion test. How that works is that they have an uncoated lens and they compare it to your coated lens. That uncoated lens and the coated lens are both scratched the same amount. They look at how much the coated lens is scratched versus the uncoated lens, and then they rate it. A Bayer rating of 4 or higher means that you have a premium lens coating, and the Captivate lenses land you at a Bayer 7 rating. So you can count on these being very, very scratch resistant and very durable. And by the way, available in prescription. I love it when I get to say that, especially because I'm a prescription wearer myself. It just means that I get to see perfectly out of this amazing lens tech. And so if you wear a prescription, definitely reach out to us, because there are ranges of prescription strengths, but I'll bet you we can do yours. And we'll tell you, just reach out to our opticians. So that wraps it up for what you need to know about the Captivate Polarized Rose Gold lenses. A little bit of a mouthful, but an amazing lens. I hope you have a much better idea as to what to expect out of this lens, as well as whether or not it's right for you. And if you have, do not forget about that See Better guarantee. I think it gives you a ton of peace of mind and really allows you to shop, especially online, with zero anxiety. And for even more peace of mind, reach out to our opticians, if I haven't mentioned them 5 times already, because they love hearing from you and they love helping people. So reach out to us. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was interesting or valuable information. If so, throw us a like, because it helps us. You can find relevant videos over here, and also we have great content on our social media outlets. I think you should check it out because I think you'll like it, and you can find us at SportRx.